once we got our notice, we started meeting on a weekly basis with the program area managers.
We would have scheduled meetings and we would go through the protocol, answering every question
and walk through what the system does and see how it aligns.
Making sure that we were very familiar with GoEngage as to where those are located so we could support the work that we were doing and how we were following up.
Going on maternity leave, I didn't think about it because we had those weekly meetings.
This team is incredible. They've taken such an integrated approach in how they work together in the system. They really do work hard to, how does this overlap with this and how can we work together to make this more successful?
It was a great process. When we were doing those weekly check-ins, we were getting real-time data where we stood. For our FA1, prior to making the switch to GoEngage, when we had Child Plus or our legacy database, our team pulled a lot of manual reports. If we wanted to look at growth and ASQ scores, we would have to export the image, manually input the scores into a spreadsheet, and then see where we fell as a whole if we were meeting those kindergarten readiness or even just the growth in child development. But with GoEngage, the system is so intuitive that you're already entering those scores. The system's not only capturing the data, but it's analyzing the data in real time. We were very thoroughly prepared because of the change to GoEngage and just the amount of prep work we could do because of the system.
Kaylin's team was present. That was super important because how that echoed down during their federal review. While we were in the room with the reviewers, answering those questions about our procedures and how we do things here, Kaylin was driving the system. That was super efficient because if I was driving the system, but then also talking, that's taking two different parts of my brain. It can be very nerve-wracking and maybe I click on something that I don't normally click on. It's like, so having that support. And I think what was also able to show for us that our education team knows what our data team is doing, and our data team is very well versed in what every single area in our program does.
It went very seamless because of the system.
Being able to use those pop dashboards in my health workbook really made it visual for them to see how our staff were working in the system and following up on child records. That right there alone versus just running a report and trying to explain what we're seeing in that report. GoEngage is very easy to help explain to somebody on the outside looking in. Very intuitive.
For the ERC file review, they had scheduled 3-hour blocks to go through all of our files, and they said that usually takes them the most time, like it's very cumbersome. We printed all of the files for the children they gave us a list for, put them in one binder in the order of the list. They had it done in an hour and a half, and they said it was the smoothest time that they've had going through files. And they didn't have any further questions because we had everything in one place.
The things that they did come up with that we needed to provide it a little bit more information, we were able to work with GoEngage and be able to get those answers to them within the day. It showed that we did have a good system in place. That felt really good.
When the reviewers were here, they were actually asking about the system and what GoEngage was and how it worked because they were very impressed with all of the data we're able to capture.
From a director's perspective, it was made very clear that during an FA2, we would be at the top of the priority list. I can't tell you how much that reassured me. I knew my team was stressed, and to be able to continually say to them, GoEngage is very interested in us being successful. They've assured us that when the review team is on the ground, that we're going to be a priority, that more personalized care and understanding. That made a world of difference to me. GoEngage is above and beyond what competitors do.
I've been through a lot of reviews in how long I had been here? I can't remember. 26 years. And this was one where it just had a different feeling. You didn't feel alone. In the past, we've never had that kind of support from our database at all.
You guys were right there, like essentially holding our hands and walking alongside us with it instead of us just feeling like we were alone during that stressful time.
Anybody can say, we're there, we're going to support you through this. It's another thing when you do it. Actions definitely spoke volumes.